How we start.
It's my job, man. Over 6 million views. All right, we're live. You can dance with us. Oh. No, no. No, no. No, no. No, no. No, no. No, no. No, no, tell me why. Okay, let's get to do that. That song, for those of you who are listening to us replay, hashtag live, hashtag replay, it's called No Turning Back by Gaze Baba and Lawrence Oyo. It's been a movement since it came out 2 weeks ago. I promise I'll drop the link in the comments last time, and I don't think I did, but I will put that on. It's you gotta find ways to feed your joy and nurture the presence of God. And you could do that with dance. So bam. All right, thank you for dancing with me. Hello everyone, happy Saturday. Thank you for joining us this warm morning. Today we're going to be talking about, you want to keep your teeth for a long time? Yeah. We're going to talk about tips to keeping all your teeth, or at least most of it, with the one and only dentist friend. She's my dentist, by the way. Dr. Valerie Mukanga. Doc, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's the way you pronounce my name, like Wakanda Mukanga.
Yes, it's emphasis. Did I pronounce it right though?
You did.
I did. Okay.
It's the power that came with it.
Yeah, very important. Names are powerful. Mukanga. Okay, Doc. So can you introduce? Oh, for those watching, please invite your friends. You can tag them, send this video to them. If you're watching YouTube, Facebook, or on LinkedIn. We got to keep our teeth because it's very important to eating, right? And it's also a cost-saving measure. So, Doc, before we go ahead, can you introduce yourself to our viewers? Who are you, aside from being my dentist? Who are you, and what do you do, and why do you do the things that you do? Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. First of all, Dr. Tolu, for inviting me. Yes, I'm her dentist. She's my doctor. So it's that two-way street relationship. So yes, I'm Dr. Valerie Mukanga. I'm the owner and founder of Healing Wings Dental. I call it the place where we help our patients maintain and regain their oral health so they can soar in life. And so that's what I am. Our office is located in Arlington. But why do I do what I do? I do what I do because I view it as a calling. In fact, it's a direct calling. I am called to help people in their oral health. And that was heightened not only by the fact that I needed oral health, my family members also needed help with their oral health. But we actually had an uncle that passed, believe it or not, because of an infection that actually ended up leading to a stroke. So it is real, it is serious. It's not just textbook as far as, the link between oral health and overall health. And in a very unpleasant way, we actually were affected by that. So I'm here to just be like a sound, to say, take care of your teeth, take care of your mouth. It's very important.
Take care of your teeth, take care of your mouth is connected to a lot of things. Thank you for sharing that. So let's talk teeth. What would you say? Because I know this is a loaded question, so let me brace you for it. But what would you say are the top 3 habits that you've noticed in your clients and your experience over the decades that you've been working or been doing this? 3 habits that ruin teeth without us knowing.
Okay. Yes, that's a very, very, very good question. So there are definitely some things that would cause you to have your teeth affected, destroyed because, of what you're doing and you don't really realize. So one of them I'll say, is that people, especially as Africans, we chew on things we have no business chewing on, or we use our teeth as like tools that they were never meant for. Oh, so many people, in parties, especially when we were back home, they'll take their bottles and, use their teeth as a
I thought that was cool,
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. You can actually break your teeth that way. You have people who, even like chew on ice. As I say, chewing on things you have no need chewing for. It can crack your teeth. We've seen people coming in, for those kind of reasons, or like chewing on pens constantly or biting nails. Those are really not things that are very good for you. So that's number one. Number two, and people clinch, they're stressed or they're just thinking. I see a lot of thinking people as they think they're clinching, and you can see it because, this area will be bulging in and out. And you tell them, don't clinch, and don't clinch your teeth. I'm like, I'm not clinching. I'm like, yes, you are. We can see it right here. And it's something that's done passively. People don't really think about it, but as they're thinking or they're stressed about something, they're out there clinching or grinding their teeth. That can really cause a lot of problem. It can cause sensitivity, can cause cracking of the teeth.
Wow.
It can also, start causing TMJ problems. Okay, so that's another thing that I would say as number two. Number three, people love their coffee. They love their teas in the morning. And I'm not going to say that it's not necessarily great because, it can help you keep going. But that health-wise, it can be addicting as well. But the problem with that I want to pinpoint is the sugar content in it. So if you're constantly sipping and sipping, is going to actually cause problems for you. And also, coffee can be slightly acidic, so it can also aggravate your enamel and causing, erosion and staining, and so drink it in moderation. But most of all, when you're drinking, make sure you drink plenty of water in between as well. And if you can actually drink it without sugar, that would be great. I know it won't taste great, but it'll
Awesome,
be better.
awesome, awesome. So these are powerful tools. For those of you who are watching, if you could put, like what resonates with you, which one's like aha for you. And by the way, hi Ire, good to see you. But Doc, I have a question. We,
Mhm.
we Africans like to chew on bones. You know the part about chewing
Ah,
on bones?
yeah,
So is that a no? Please
it's a
don't say
no.
that because that's important.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a no. It's a no.
You just hurt
And
my feelings, man.
well, I'm hurting my own feelings because I'm telling you, I will be eating. I'll be eating in the end, and then my employees will be like, "Doc," I'm like, "Oh."
The cartilage. That's so crunchy. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So yes,
Okay.
and besides, even your teeth, sometimes you can have bone getting lodged between your teeth or getting lodged in your gum. I remember having a patient that came in as an emergency because there was a piece of what it was. It was a piece of a fish bone that got stuck in his gum, and thank God we were able to take it out. So yeah, it can be bad.
So you heard the doctor, stop stressing your teeth. Stop getting it to do. I mean, don't worry. I will speak it in my local African community. Those who like to, openly. I used to think that that's a cool, to be able to do that makes you really cool. And I tried to do it, but I just couldn't. I'm
I'm
okay.
glad you couldn't.
Okay, that works out. Now, Doc, let's talk brushing teeth.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
how often really should we like? Do we need to brush our teeth, like, and
Okay.
floss or floss?
Yes, yes. So it's a great question again. So you definitely, the recommendation is to brush at least twice a day. And it's not and or brush or floss, it's and floss. Okay. So you want to brush and you want to floss. Flossing is not an option. Why? Because when you're flossing, you're removing the debris that gets stuck between your teeth. And believe it or not, I mean, many people come to the office and they're like, oh, doc, I don't have any cavities. I don't have cavity problems. And when you look at the chewing surfaces of their teeth, when you do your clinical exam, I mean, it's clean, no cavities. But when you look at the x-ray, you're like, whoa, it's like a mine. Like you have so many cavities between their teeth. And those sometimes, they're small enough that you don't really know that you have them. But that, is an indication that either we are not flossing or we're not doing it well enough, or we're not doing it well. So flossing is definitely a thing. And as far as flossing, you want to do it at least once a day.
Now, the floss. Do you recommend the pick, the one that looks like a toothpick, that one, or the wire,
I
the
think, to
fiber?
me, I think that you can do a better job with the floss string. But if your dexterity is not very good, those flossing sticks or picks would be also good. Just need to know how to use them. So you're not going to put it, wedge it in between, straight up and down, but you want to make it like kind of reach out so that it kind of hugs the surfaces of your tooth. So it makes like the C, it kind of makes like the C around your tooth surface.
Okay. All right, you heard the doctor. You got to floss. It's a non-negotiable. And doc, let's talk electric toothbrush. I want to ask that question. So,
Yes.
I think the last live you corrected that for me because I brush like we got to maximize. I like to maximize time, so I'm like her. But that's for those in the back who didn't hear the first time. How do we use the electric brushes as far as brushing our teeth?
Okay, so electric toothbrush, even manual toothbrushes, it's not about, going really fast. First of all, the recommendation is to brush for at least 2 minutes. I almost said 2 hours. No, 2 minutes.
Oh, that'd be a deal breaker for me.
For at least 2 minutes. You definitely want to give each tooth its own attention. So you want to brush every single teeth that you want to keep. You don't want to keep a tooth, don't brush that one. But if you want to keep every teeth, brush every
You
teeth.
just say that. Every teeth you want to keep, you got to take care. Okay.
Right.
Noted.
And so you want to brush all the surfaces of the teeth. Okay. So the surface that's close to the gum, want to brush that. The chewing surface and also the inside surface that's close to the tongue or the palate, you want to brush those. And you want to go like in a easiest ways to go like in a circular motion, but you are going to be aiming the bristles of the toothbrush in a 45-degree angle. So you want to aim it to where you can actually sweep out away from the gum surface the food and debris that can get lodged in your teeth. And so many people just brush the surfaces of the teeth, but you definitely want to address the surfaces between the gum and the teeth. That's where your food gets lodged, and that's where you can also have cavities forming.
Wow. All right. Can you all drop in the comment? Brush all the teeth you want to keep. That one hit me hard. Brush all. All of the ones you prioritize are the ones. Wow. That
Yes.
you keep. That's okay. Noted.
And that doesn't mean go prioritize the front ones that you see. Please take care of the back ones, okay?
Very important for biting down. Yes, yes, yes. All right, Doc. Mouthwash, is that essential? Is it optional for those who are like, Doc, I'm trying to save cost. The economy, it's a little tight, and we're trying to see ways we can cut. But is mouthwash essential or optional?
So for mouthwash, I'll say it's not essential. It's optional. It's
Okay.
definitely a plus because it's going to help you, decrease the bacterial load, can give you fresh breath. Yes. So yeah, so that can be very helpful. And so if they have different types. They have some types that don't really sting much. You can use the mouthwash of your preference. I mean, the key thing is if you see the ADA seal, which is the American Dental Association approved, you're pretty much safe. But it's not like you absolutely have to use it, but it definitely helps.
All right.
However, say, for example, there are some mouthwashes that are prescribed, right? You had a procedure, maybe you had like a deep cleaning, or you were bleeding a lot during your treatment, and the doctor recommends a mouthwash, like Peridex, for example. At that point, that's not optional. You have to do it, okay? Because it's definitely going to severely decrease the bacterial load. But the ones over the counter, that's optional.
Okay. Thank you. There you go. You can save money there, but it's a good bonus, in my opinion. Now, sugar-free gum. What are your thoughts on gums? Sugar-free gums, are they a better alternative for your teeth? And then could you also speak to the whitening gums that they tend to recommend?
Okay. Oh, thank you. Those are great questions. You're keeping them rolling. But like as far as sugar-free gum, and make sure it's sugar-free. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, especially if it has xylitol in it, it's going to help you as far as like decreasing the propensity of producing cavities. However, sugar-free gum, it's also going to not however, but it's also going to help you as far as it can remove like some debris. You know how you're chewing gum and say you have like some food particles, it's going to be, inside the gum or whatever. It helps you also stimulate saliva. So saliva is very good. In fact, people who have a decreased amount of salivary flow, they tend to produce cavities a lot. So the fact that it stimulates saliva, that's a great bonus. However, don't overdo it. You know, any good thing, when you overdo it, it end up not being good. If you over chew on gum, you can start having like a discomfort in your jaw, you know, especially if you suffer from like TMJ problems. You definitely want to be mindful. You know how sometimes you're chewing gum and all of a sudden you've done it so much and your jaw starts hurting. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that lets you know, yeah, you've overdone it. So don't get to that point. You know, it's good, but too much of it can also not be good. As far as the whitening toothpaste, I myself, I like them. You know,
Okay.
it can help as far as like keeping your teeth more white. However, you know, if you suffer from sensitivity, you kind of want to be mindful, because, you know, whitening does have some acid in it. And so just be guarded. Just try to see, if you see that all of a sudden your teeth are more sensitive, and kind of refrain from it. But at that point, you can probably use like Sensodyne toothpaste. They also have
Okay.
Sensodyne, which is a desensitizing toothpaste type. They have some whitening ones, so maybe you can shift towards that. But it's not a bad thing.
Okay, awesome. And thank you for the guests who are joining. Hi, Mitra. Good to see you. All right. And for those of you watching, can you drop in the comments what you're planning to do based on our conversation? I want to see if you're taking notes. You know, the whole purpose of having the lives is to educate us, but not for head knowledge, but more for, okay, what are things I'm going to start to implement that's going to make for better teeth? Okay. All right. Next question. We talked about the foods that harm our teeth. Can you give us tips on foods that actually help protect our teeth, or help that help protect our teeth?
So thank you again for this question. You would notice that the same thing that are very beneficial for your health is also beneficial for your teeth. So you know how we're told to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Yes, yes.
She said it. I didn't say it. She said it. Uh-huh.
That's also very good for your teeth, because they're rich in fibers. They're rich in antioxidant that would help your gum health. You know, fibers will help you clean your teeth even better. You know, so that's going to be very good. You definitely want to make sure you drink lots and lots and lots of water. That's good for your body, right? We know that. Also good for your mouth, because the same way it hydrates your entire body, helps your system run and go well, it also does that in your mouth. As we said, you know, people who have less salivary flow, they're more prone to getting cavities. Well, if your mouth is not well hydrated, then yes, it can also, you know, lead to lots of cavity formation. So drink lots of water, lots of fruits and vegetable. Milk and cheese are also good, you know, for protection of your teeth. But then again, you know, if you're lactose intolerant, then maybe you can try the other types. Nuts and seeds are also very good, because believe it or not, there have been studies that show that if you only eating soft food, it kind of weakens your teeth. So you also need something that's helping you. The fact that, you know, you're chewing a little bit, not bones, as we said, but things that are a little bit harder and not very too processed are also very good for your teeth. But with nuts, though, be very careful. If you can use the ones that are already broken down, so you're not like chewing so hard and, you know, end up, you know, cracking teeth. So
Mm.
definitely, you know how they have maybe like pistachio, or, you know, those that have the shell. Try to use those that don't have shells anymore. That way you're not tempted to crack, you know, those things and cracking your teeth, and not cracking your teeth in the process. So that's what I can say. Yeah.
Okay. I like the TLC, with the teeth. I'm sometimes I figure the teeth can handle everything. So I'm just like, "Grr, grr," so, but this has been very helpful. And Dr. Mitra makes a very valid point. Doc, you said coffee. Now, are you saying don't drink coffee? Coffee is not good for your teeth, or the sugar that comes with the coffee is the problem? Because coffee is a lifesaver. It's an energy, girl. Are you saying no coffee, doc? I want to hear what is it, a sugar in the coffee, or it's because I don't drink coffee, but I know a lot of people who love coffee and just want to
Yes.
talk. So what's
Yes.
the thing about the coffee?
I know they feel like I've stabbed them in the heart, but I'll say coffee. Mostly, what is the problem is the sugar.
It's the sugar. Okay.
content. However, coffee also is kind of acidic, so don't overdo it. Because it can also, be detrimental for your enamel. So, and it can also cause staining. So I'm not saying don't, but what I'm saying too is definitely drink lots of water in between, because the water will water down the sugar content, will water down the acid. So if you feel like you need to drink a lot of coffee or to stay awake, don't overdo it, but definitely drink a lot of water in between.
And I love how she says she actually brushes after drinks coffee to help. So, right.
Yeah, wait, yes. You can brush, but don't do it right away. Okay. So if you're drinking, say you're drinking soda, you're drinking, coffee, tea, don't brush right away. Wait at least about, you can drink water, yes, but as far as brushing, don't brush right away. Wait at least 30 minutes before you go and go brush your teeth. Otherwise, that acid with all the content in the toothpaste can actually cause more damage or damage faster your teeth. So give it some time before you run to brush
Do
your
that. Okay.
teeth.
All right. Thank you. We learned a lot today. Okay. Now, Doc, how often should we visit dentist, even if nothing hurts? Like teeth is just, on fleek or sleep.
Yeah.
It's, it's giving. Your teeth is giving. I don't know what the slang is.
Yes, it's like shining.
So what? How often should we see the dentist, even if nothing hurts?
Yes, even if nothing hurts, you want to go at least twice a year. At least twice a year, you want to make your appointment. However, if you're one who has been affected by gum disease, you have to follow the recommendation of your doctor. More times than none, it'll be like once a quarter. But like if your teeth are healthy, your gums are healthy, it'll be about twice a year. Because at that point, you even though you're brushing well, you still are developing, some plaque and hard plaque forming, and that it'll be hard for you to remove at home. And also that will help us make sure that everything is kept in check. That way, if you have some little problems forming, we can actually detect it and treat it in a timely manner. And also, that being said, you don't want to neglect your children. Okay, even babies, we start seeing them at 6 months, or as soon as they have a tooth, that's a good time to start going to see the dentist. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. And I have a very good question. Hi, Mrs. Sam, good to see you. He says, what would you advise someone with multiple sensitive teeth? He's actually interested. That was my next question. Sensitive tooth. What are your thoughts, Doc, for someone who has sensitive tooth sensitivity? Is that a cause
Yes.
for concern?
Yes, it's a cause for concern. First of all, it's very uncomfortable that you are eating or drinking something and your teeth are hurting. That's very uncomfortable. So what we recommend is using sensitive toothpaste such as Sensodyne or any other toothpaste that would have the ADA seal, American Dental Association seal on it. That would also help sensitivity, because what it's going to do is going to kind of like block out the tubules that are in your teeth, and when you close those off, then you would experience less sensitivity or no more sensitivity. However, it's very important to pinpoint what is causing that sensitivity if possible. Sometimes you have people such as our Mexican brothers and sisters, they love, actually sucking on lemon. That would cause a lot of sensitivity. So refrain, and erosion as well. So refrain from doing that. So if you know that you have a habit that has a propensity of causing sensitivity, you want to keep that in check. But besides Sensodyne toothpaste, we also, for some people who they're using that and they don't really see a difference, you also want to consider sensitive mouthwash in addition to that. That would give you additional layer. Sometimes sensitivity could be caused by the fact that you have cavities, by the fact that you have, some other issues. So definitely consult with your doctor to find out, what's the game plan.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Very good question. So thank you for asking. Next question here. You people are doing very good with these questions. Like me try. Any changes in visit frequency in people with heart disease and murmurs?
Okay, not necessarily. I think it's the same frequency unless, we detect that they have some issues. Say they have gum disease, then yes, it would be increased because then we need to really treat your gum better. If you have, tooth bone loss, then we need to clean more frequently. But the fact that you have heart disease, does not does not necessarily warrant for going more.
More,
Yes.
and I think maybe history of endocarditis as I don't know what that comes to mind.
Mhm.
Infection around the heart.
Mhm.
You may wonder, but that's something you want to kind of meet with your doctor about and decide.
Yes,
Um,
if you have, say, for example, you have some replacement of some part of your body or things like that, it used to be recommended that you would have a pre
I say,
that you would have a prophylactic antibiotic before treatment, but nowadays, like, it's no longer recommended. However, if you feel safer that way, we can definitely, um, prescribe it for you, but so that you can be at peace. Yes, there are a few conditions that still remain whereby you have to take antibiotic prophylactically before treatment. However, you have to consult with your dentist and they will let you know you are definitely need to have that taken before treatment or not.
mm, awesome, thank you. Very good questions. You guys are good viewers today. You're good. All right, doc. Any supplements for those who are watching? Like, what are things I can do to boost my teeth health and strength, make it more glossy?
It's very controversial nowadays. However, we do recommend fluoride. Fluoride will help you, keep your teeth stronger. I mean, some people feel like it's causing a lot more problems, so kind of like be guarded on that. But dental wise, we definitely recommend using a fluoride toothpaste and fluoride mouthwashes. You don't want to overdo it either. Say, for example, you don't want to go and try to purchase those fluoride that we do prescribe and that we do administrate during your treatment, because then you have too much. And but that's what we recommend. Yes.
Okay. And I have a good question here from Ira Lua. She says, how often do you need to go to the dentist office if you have very good teeth? Your
Right.
teeth is
So
perfect. How often?
yeah, so you want to definitely go at least twice a year. Your teeth are great, go at least twice a year. Yes.
All right. At least twice a year, Mama. Did you hear that? Okay. At
And
least
the good
twice
thing
a year.
is, if you do have dental insurance, that's usually covered at 100%. So you just go, use your benefit, and yeah, you'll be good.
And I love the clean feel. It's like I wish I can take that feeling, all day. Like when they clean your teeth, like you want to lick your teeth on. Like it's like you like your teeth. Like you're just
You're giving your teeth some love.
That's right. But lots of tips today. For me, my biggest take home is to be careful. The cracking and the overexertion of my teeth. I should not take my teeth for granted. So that has been a big one, and I'm going to do better with
And
floss.
chewing on bones, that
Well, I'm gonna pray about that one because
please help a Lord, help a Lord.
that's from back in the day. That's oh man. And then also I gotta do better with flossing. I got it because to me it's like it's too much time to do each. But I do want to keep all my teeth, so it's a priority. So for all of you watching, what are things you're gonna start doing? Drop it in the comments so we can let Dr. Valerie Mukanga know that we're paying attention and this has helped move us forward. So it's one thing. What's one thing you're gonna start doing based on this live? And Doc, while they're doing that, oh, thank you, Uriel. I love that. I appreciate you. Can you let us know for those who are watching? Who are like, Doc, I see Dr. O. And you're not far from her. I want you to be my dentist. Doc, where can people find you?
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. So, Healing Wings Dental, which is my practice, dental practice, is located at 4101 West Greenhouse Boulevard, suite number 317 in Arlington, Texas.
Was a Boulevard, Suite 301.
No, 317.
317, sorry.
Yes.
317, and that's in Arlington.
Yes.
So where so that's the address.
Yes. And our
And
phone
then
number is 972-213-0202.
3202. All
Yes.
right. So I put that in the comments. Where else can people find you, Doc? Because I know you're all over the place.
They can also find us on social media
Mhm.
by typing Dr. Valerie Mukanga. Social media meaning on Facebook, on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok. You
You're
can find
TikTok.
us. Yes, you can definitely find us on YouTube, and you can definitely find so many information that we drop on a weekly basis as far as what to do with your oral health. And if you come visit us, which we really will welcome you with open arms, we will definitely treat your teeth as if they are our own. Okay, we
I love
take
it.
pride in that. Yes.
I love that. So I put it here, and I have E-Ray. She says, I subscribe to both your channels. Make sure you got your mommy and daddy to approve that.
Thank
But
you.
she joined. And then, Doc, did you forget your podcast? What's up?
Oh, I have a new podcast that just came out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, it's called The Science of Gratitude, and we are foretelling of showcasing stories of people who have experienced God's grace in many areas, and so they come and they talk about their testimonies and what they're grateful for. We highlight gratefulness, gratitude. It's very important because it will help you reap even more goodness, from the Lord when you're grateful. In fact, Dr. Tolu was one of our guests. Okay, so yes, I'm very, very proud and thankful and honored that I'm being used in that manner. And so the site for that one is youtube.com/at the science dash of dash gratitude.
The science dash of gratitude. All right.
Science dash of dash gratitude.
Okay. All right. So I put it all, man, lots of things in the comment for you. The podcast, her YouTube, she's on LinkedIn, she's a TikToker. That's a word. Yeah, she's a TikToker. Website healingwingsdental.com. The
Yes.
podcast I recommend. We've got to fight for our joy. I talk to clients all the time. The work of keeping and holding on to our joy is a fight. We listen to things that empower us. We remind ourselves of past victories. And that's what your podcast helps do, to
Yes.
help people come share their stories. So you remember yours and you're empowered by it. This was good, Doc. Thank you so much for coming. And we got a lot of viewers. We have Iralua who joined. We had Dr. Eve Ade. Thank you so much for joining. Dr. Mitra, Tham joined as well. Yeah, this was good. I feel like we should do a dance outro. I'm gonna play, and I dropped the link in the comment. Yes, Dr. E, we cannot afford to lose our joy. Now we hold on to it. We no, we thrive through the seasons, up and down. So we're gonna do an outro. We're gonna dance outro. I put a link in the comments already. This is my favorite jam lately.
It's been my jam too.
Jace Baba and Lawrence Oyo. It's called No Turning Back. Where did I put it? I put it up there. So where did I put it? I have decided.
Thank you so much for having me, Doc.
So I'm putting it right here. I want to share the joy. When I see you with that's in real life.
We will.
No. Okay, so it doesn't transmit like it should. Maybe next time I'll do it, on the computer so people can hear it. But I put the link. It's a beautiful song. You can dance to it. You can feed your joy on it, and the dance steps you can do with it too. But thank you so much, Dr. Valerie Mukanga, for coming and sharing your Saturday morning with us. I really, really appreciate you. All jokes aside, I don't take it for granted. Thank you big time.
Thank you so much for having me. My pleasure.
All right, awesome. And thank you to our viewers. As always, caring is sharing. Forward it to people who have teeth. Share it with people who have teeth. We want them to keep it all. All right.
Yes.
And as always, if you or anyone you know are looking for a good, a caring, a thorough family physician who's not perfect, but will help you live long and well, I am she. Have a good one. Thank you, Doc. This was good. This was good.